All right, again, welcome. We're glad to have everyone here tonight. So, board members, we're going to get started. I want to call this meeting to order. Okay. First on the agenda is the approval of the agenda. We do have one deletion, and that is 7.9. And with that deletion, I will need a motion to approve our agenda.
So moved. Second.
Okay. So it's a motion by Mr. Bryant and second by Mr. Dessen. So all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, that is approved. Okay. Part 3 is recognitions. This is always the best part of our meetings when we get to do some recognitions and have students and guests in, and we're so glad to have everyone tonight. 3.1 is the recognition of the 2024 Florida Purple Star School District. And Mr. Chambers, please tell us about that and our guest tonight, sir.
Thank you, Ms. Ivanchek and School Board, and we have some guests with us. But before I make some comments, I'd like Mr. Spolsky come up and start, and then I will go after Mr. Spolsky.
Thank you, sir. Chairman Ivanchek, board members, Superintendent Chambers, and of course our guest here. As the Assistant Superintendent and also the Executive Director of the Okaloosa Public School Foundation, it is truly my honor this evening to welcome everyone here that is signifying such a special partnership. Honoring us tonight with their presence from Hurlburt Field is Colonel Patrick Durig, Commander of the 1st Special Operations Wing, Chief Master Sergeant Ralph Oliver, Command Chief from the 1st Special Operations Wing, and Dr. McKinley Cross, our School Liaison Program Manager. From Eglin Air Force Base, we have Lieutenant Colonel Claude Menson, Deputy Commander for the Mission Support Group, and Elaine Lajeunesse, School Liaison Program Manager. And from Duke Field, Colonel Scott Hurlbrink, Commander of the 919th Special Operations Wing, and Lieutenant Colonel James Wilson, Chief of Public Affairs of the 919th Special Operations Wing, along with Margaret Rivera, School Liaison Program Manager. The Florida Department of Education has awarded Okaloosa County School District the Purple Star District of Distinction Certificate. Superintendent Chambers, the floor is yours. I know you're passionate about this distinction, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Spolsky, and welcome our guests. And I think you've all heard it. I'm speaking to our school board. I'm speaking to those who are here. One of the things that people love about this area is the fact that we are a military community and what the military means to this entire area. You know, not only, which what I'm about to say is critically important, so it's not only keeping us safe here, keeping our country safe, but it's the relationships as well. And it's what you bring to this community. And as a school district, we want to be of added value. And we appreciate more than we could ever express when you deploy to protect our freedoms. We want to make sure that we're keeping your family safe here, your children safe here, and providing an education where when they move on, they can continue to do great things. I can remember it was several years ago when we embarked on just becoming a Purple Star District in terms of each school becoming a Purple Star school. And Ms. Lajeunesse knows she was instrumental in that as well, what it took to get each of our schools to be a Purple Star school. Quick minor story, we have 37 schools that we were able to get to become a Purple Star school. When we first did this, 35 of them were recognized, and we said, well, what about the other 2? This doesn't make much sense. Well, what happened was there was an email that was lost to the state. Once they found it, the other 2 became Purple Star schools, so all 37 of our schools being Purple Star schools. We have Principal Morello, who's here from Niceville High School, one of our principals, and he knows the importance of this program. And so it's not about having a distinction. It's about truly doing what the Purple Star mission is, and it's about providing a welcoming atmosphere. It's about making sure that transcripts come here and it works. It's about making sure when students come, there's students who also greet them. And that's one of the things that I can tell you I'm so proud of. You know, my father was in the military for 33 years, and he'll tell you some odd days and some odd hours. And I can remember when I would go to a new base, the very first thing that came through my mind is, where am I going to sit during lunch? That was my biggest worry, every single move. So to have a program where schools like Niceville High School and other schools across this school district wrap their arms around our students when they come. I think that's absolutely critical. And I say all the time, we're not perfect, and we're not perfect in this as well. But we're absolutely proud to be one of 5 school districts across the state of Florida, and there's 67, one of 5 school districts across the state of Florida to be a Purple Star district. And we could not be more honored. So to have the Purple Star School District recognition, and I know I can speak for this board that's here with me right now, it's something that we're all extremely, extremely proud of. And again, it's not just about a distinction, it's about what we want to do each day for our students. And at this time, school board, and you may have some words, but I'm going to have Colonel Patrick Deerig come forward, if you would. And he's from Hurlburt. And I tell you, he does a good job with the lunch. If you ever want to go out to Hurlburt and have lunch, he does a good job with that as well.
Best golf course.
That's right.
Best golf course. So first of all, I want to say thank you to the entire board. I also want to say thank you to everybody who introduced this, and I want to say congratulations to the Niceville cheerleaders as well in your state championship. I'll use Niceville as the example. 28.6% of the students at Niceville High School are military connected. And as Superintendent Chambers mentioned, you know, for those of us who signed on the dotted line to serve, we did that as a choice for ourselves, but our children didn't sign the dotted line. And so the most stressful thing for families, and I say this with 15 or 16 deployments and 15 or 16 moves, my number one concern was always who's going to welcome my children. So I want to say thank you for honoring all the bases, Eglin, Duke, everybody who takes part in this. But I want to say thank you for welcoming our families. Thank you for wrapping your arms around our children when we're gone. But also thank you for making this a military community. There are a lot of cities that say they're military city USA. I've lived in a couple of them, but there is no place more military friendly to the families and the children of the military than the Emerald Coast and specifically Okaloosa County. So I just want to say thank you.
Thank you, sir. And in 1 second, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Spolsky, but I know some of you might also have some words.
Yes, I do. First off, I appreciate you gentlemen being here tonight. I was an Air Force brat and the product of the school. Then I got in the Air Force. And who was in the 919th? Okay, I was in the 919th back when it was A model gunships. A little long time ago. But being an Air Force brat and then being in the military myself, I know what it's like to move around and do that stuff. And we really appreciate the support from the military to our schools, and we want to just return that back. So the Purple Star designation is huge for me personally.
Thank you, Ms. Vanchek. I, too, am a military brat. I'm an Army brat. My dad served 23 years in the Army and then retired from the Army and went and worked 20 years with the Navy, dealing with the Trident nuclear submarines over at Kings Bay. He just recently passed away, but I am very proud to say that I am a product of the military. And I will tell you, I grew up in a time when the Vietnam War was winding down and I was in school. It was a different feeling for military kids back in those days, especially when you went off post. You know, it was a different feeling. And I was fortunate because I went to DOD schools most of that time, but when I transferred into the city schools or the county schools, it was a different feeling. And then things started changing. America finally realized that our military heroes who came from Vietnam were doing a job and welcomed them and, gave them the due respect that they earned. And so for military kids, that started changing too. And as you can see now, as was said, this is the most military friendly community in the world. And I'm proud to be a part of it. But for those kids that have to go through the moves and all that, it's nice to know that we have people in the schools that are there to help them with that. And, so it's really a great feeling to be a part of this school district. I will say, though, that when I was a senior in high school, my dad didn't move around very much, but when he moved, it was the worst times. And I had to move from Fort Gordon, Georgia to Sacramento, California in the middle of my senior year. And I will tell you that being a military kid, you're very resilient. And I survived and I graduated and made lots of friends, but that just tells you how military kids move around. And my dad was one of those people. We moved together as a family. And so, so this is a great honor. I'm very proud of us and proud of our military community.
Mr. Destin?
Well, I was not a military brat, but I am a product of the Okaloosa County school system. And I would suggest that well over 2/3 of everybody that I have grown up with and ever known were from the military community. That's just it's who we are. It's what we are. And I'll suggest that Mr. Chambers touched on it before, but we are a direct reflection, and our success is a direct reflection of our military presence, the military community, the stability that it brings to our community, the high academic achievement, the attitude, the culture. All of it is what distinguishes Okaloosa County amongst peers. And if you just want to look at the other 66 Florida counties, we do remarkably well, even within our peer group locally in the Panhandle, and it is because of the military community. And I can't tell you enough how proud I am for us to get this distinction, and how and again, to Mr. Chambers' point, it's not about the distinction, it's about playing it out. It's the service and making sure that we are the most welcoming and most accommodating and most understanding to the pressures and the realities of military service life for our students and families. And I will promise you that this board will always be committed to that as long as I'm on it. And I couldn't be more proud to have received the distinction, but it just seems only natural that we would reciprocate that to our military families.
And I'd just like to say I'm also a military brat, and always been proud of that. And I have siblings who served. I was also saying that Florosa Elementary is one that I particularly am designated for. Sits right outside the Hurlburt Gate there, and all the way to the Santa Rosa line. And I work with them quite closely, and I'm proud to do that. And Mr. Bryant, you just mentioned Vietnam, and next month will mark the 50th year for the fall of Saigon. And I know there's a big recognition of those who served in Vietnam, and I had a brother who served in Vietnam. So all of this really plays a lot of resignation with me and emotion, and it's great to be able to have this designation and to have you here tonight. So thank you.
Thank you, school board. And I'll just say one last thing that they made me think of it, and mention how I moved around as a kid. And I tell you, I had to make a lot of sacrifices, and one of the last sacrifices was when my dad was stationed at Hickam Air Force Base in Hawaii. So that was a hard sacrifice. Waikiki Beach and everything, but I persevered, though. Mr. Spolsky?
Somebody had to do it, right?
That's right.
Colonel Menson, Colonel Holbrick, would you like to say anything? Colonel Wilson, anything?
First and foremost, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for inviting us here and allowing us to be part of. Really, it's a crowning achievement the way we look at it. As Colonel Derrick said, I'd also like to tell the ladies of the cheer team congratulations on everything that they've accomplished. It is a testament of what the local community does here to the commitment to our military families, to our students. There's been a lot of things that have already been said. I'll repeat a couple of them, but it is so important that you care for the military folks, because it allows us then to worry about our jobs and our tasks at hand, whether they're here or whether they're deployed. Sir, 1 of 5 is 67. That's top 7%. I wish I was top 7% of something. So again, such an outstanding achievement. Sir, God willing, we'll get gunships back to the 919th maybe this summer. God willing. And then we'll continue on. But again, a heartfelt congratulations on this Purple Star achievement for the district. It is so important. It says so much about your character, how you take care of folks, and supporting us. So again, thank you for allowing us to be here.
Well, good evening, Superintendent Chambers, members of the district leadership, family, and friends. On behalf of the 96 Mission Support Group at Eglin Air Force Base, I want to start by congratulating the Okaloosa County School District for receiving the Purple Star of District of Distinction. This is such an incredible honor, and it truly shows the district's dedication to supporting military students and their families. As a parent, I've seen firsthand how much this district cares. My son has attended Plough Elementary and now Ruckle Middle School, and my daughter will soon graduate from Niceville High School. They say that military kids on average move around 7 times, and my daughter can attest to this as she's moved 8 times. However, prior to moving here, my daughter was in her 4th country, 5th move, and 6th school in 7 years. It was tough for her to adjust each time, but here in Okaloosa, we found something special. The teachers and staff welcomed her with open arms, providing the support and stability she needed to thrive. The Purple Star District of Distinction means that every school in Okaloosa County is committed to helping military families succeed, whether that's helping students transition smoothly or offering the resources they need to excel. Eventually, my family will have to move on to our next duty assignment, but I know my children are more prepared for the next chapter of their lives because of the care and support they received here. Eglin Air Force Base and the Okaloosa County School District share a special bond built on service and support. We are truly proud of this partnership and so grateful for everything this district does for our military families. Your dedication makes a real difference, helping our kids feel at home no matter where they go next. It has been an honor to be part of this amazing community, and we know this partnership will continue to change lives. Thank you.
Superintendent Chambers, any other guests I'd like to call down for a picture with our dignitaries?
We can just stand here and they can be there. You did? Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. That was great. So we're going to move on. We're now at 3.2, a little change of pace, as we're going to have the cheerleaders come up. We are at 3.2, the recognition of the Niceville High School cheerleaders, 2025 Florida High School Athletic Association 2A Large All-Girls State Champions. Mr. Chambers?
And so it seems like we've been here before. And so correct me if I'm wrong, this is the 6th state championship in a row, right? So as I was saying to Coach Herndon, I have to switch my words around, okay? Raise your hand if you were here last year, the year before. Okay, so there's some of you who've been with us. And so one thing I am going to say that's very similar that I say each and every time because I think it's important. And it's something that I hope that you do not take for granted. And it's the day of the competition is not where a state championship is won. It's all the practices before that. It's the summer. It's the heat. It's the arguing at time and able to come together and be stronger because of it. Those are the life lessons that you're going to remember. If I were to ask everybody in here, and I will, not you girls, raise your hand if you've had a state title. There's, thanks, Mr. Meyer. But there's two in here. And if I were to say, raise your hand if you played athletics, cheer, dance, raise your hand if you did that in high school. And you can see the hands go up even more. And you can see right there, there's a small percent who will ever have a state title. And that's something that I hope you do not take for granted. Trust me, you will remember this when you're 30, which seems like so old. You'll remember this when you're 50, when you're 60, when you're 70. You will remember this the rest of your life being a state champion. And though you're 6 in a row, the percent of that happening is almost minute. So I just hope that you never take it for granted, because you never know when the last one will be there. But just great representation of Niceville High School, great representation of Okaloosa County. And this is one of the things we talk about. We say we're an A+ district, and the plus does not come from the state. The plus is about being strong academically, which I know you girls are. That does come from the state. But then it's about being strong athletically and strong in the arts. And when you look at cheer, and I'll say dance because they seem to be here every meeting as well. Cheer and dance, you guys are here every meeting. But some of the best athletes that we have in Okaloosa County, cheer and dance. So I just could not be more proud. So thank you.
Mr. Heinley, would you like to make a comment?
Oh, yes, I would. These girls represent a large sum of money over the few past years. I know a lot of these girls personally. Of course, my daughter's in the group there, so a lot of these girls have been subjected to my hazing in my household. But very proud of you girls. I've seen y'all change over the years. In 6 years, 6 straight years. Coach Tanya, man, I said this when she was here with the Ruckle team. Man, she coaches the Ruckle and the Niceville, has 3 kids. Kudos to you. I don't know how you do it. And she has champions on both sides. So very impressive. Principal Morello, I know what you have to do with all these girls. You got to keep them straight and keep their grades up and everything. So, but I have to do a little confession time. So after all these years as a cheer dad, I will tell you that especially the fathers will stand up at the top of the stadium or and we all look at each other and goes, which one's my daughter? Which one's my daughter? With their hair slicked back and their makeup, you got to get in there and do it. So, but I can say that now that I'm no longer a cheer dad after tonight. So, but congratulations, girl. Congratulations, Principal Morello and Coach Tanya. Good job.
Mr. Bryant?
Well, let's see, I've been on the school board now for 8 years, so 6 years of those 8, y'all have been coming. This is an exciting thing. To do it once is incredible. To do it twice is just not heard of, but to do it 6 times in a row, that's pretty amazing. So on behalf of myself and the entire North Okaloosa side of things, we are really proud of you, and congratulations on another great cheer season. And Mr. Heinley, I know you know how you kind of kid around. I didn't have any daughters, but I do have a granddaughter now, so I'm wondering if she's going to make it up to the cheer thing, and I can have some of those memories like you did, sir. So
Save up now, right?
That's right.
Mr. Destin?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Yeah, I think it was perhaps the last meeting, and I was remarking about how different cheer as a competitive sport is now, as opposed to 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago. It has evolved at a rate that all sports are evolving. You go, how can we keep pushing the envelope, the margins of what the human body can do? You go, we're still breaking records in swimming. We thought, oh my goodness, that's just impossible. How are we doing that in basketball? But cheer's evolving in about 6 different directions at any given time. And for you guys to come back year after year to be the tip of that progression in the sport, that's some really elite level accomplishments. I understand I understand how absolutely remarkable it is. I'm so darn proud of you guys. It is incredible what you guys have done, and it's just a testament to how hard I know you had to work to do it. And so, from the south end of the county, I know that we are proud of every single one of you, and wish you all the best. But savor it. It really is something special. As a guy, I swam in high school for Fort Walton, went to state a lot, never got a state championship. I know how hard this stuff is, and you guys are doing it, so couldn't be more proud of you.
Well, ladies, as you can see, I'm the lone female on this board, so I'm like, go girls. I'm very proud of you for what you've accomplished, and love the bling. Y'all, I can't wait till you walk up here so everybody can see your bling. But we're so very proud of you, and Coach Herndon, you two, you're so accomplished with what you're doing, and that's great. I'm just so proud to see you. And Ms. Heinley, could you raise your hand? Because I've never met you. Okay, so does he give you as much grief as he gives me at these meetings when you're at home? Yeah, okay, good. So, yeah, all right, that's good. Again, thank you for representing your school, your families, and Okaloosa County. We're very proud.
One final question. You seniors out there, any of you guys going to try at the collegiate level? Any ideas?
Great.
Okay. All right.
That's awesome.
What school would that be? FSU.
There we go.
Well,
There we go.
wish you luck. I hope you do, because being down on that field, something special. I went to Auburn, and the only time I got on that field, I got arrested. So,
Okay.
so get on it the right
Thank you,
way.
Mr. Heinley.
Exactly.
Let's move on.
Thank you, Ms. Ivanchek.
Cut his mic.
As Principal Morello comes forward and Coach Herndon come forward, I do want to say, and we touched on it, and I appreciate you saying it. You know, Coach Herndon, Ruckle, Niceville. There's back-to-backs at Ruckle, 6 times here at Niceville. She has a family, and to be able to do this, and I know you have assistant coaches, and I know you have leadership within your teams, but the head coach sets the tone, and to be able to do this across multiple schools is remarkable, and the time that you put into it, we couldn't be more proud. So thank you as well. Principal Morello?
Yes, sir. Well, we're not talking about my arrest record, like Mr. Myers. That's why we talk about winning a state championship, right? And then after that becomes the saying. So you win that first state championship, and they say, what, back to back? And then after that, it's about the 3-peat. And then there was the 4-peat. And then the saying is one for the thumb, right? There's not even a saying for trying to win 6 straight state championships. It's that unheard of. So first of all, to the girls, could not be prouder. Mr. Chambers said it. That is a group of probably potentially the best athletes in the school. No one practices longer, as often, or as hard as the competitive cheer squad do. I see it. We didn't even get the keys in the multi-purpose building, and Coach Herndon had taken it over. And the coach and her coach as well. So that's how when you win a championship as a coach, you know, that's tough. But then to win multiple, so you start talking about now, people are gunning for you, right? You're the champs, we're coming after you. You start talking about seniors who graduate and how you replace those key parts of your team. And then you talk about just that motivation factor. You know, it's hard to keep kids motivated when you win year after year after year. So that's a testament to Coach Herndon and her assistant coaches. A quick story about this year, particular to this year. So we were the 5-time defending 1A state champion. Bartram Trail was the 5-time defending 2A state champion. So the FHSA decided it's time to stick it to Niceville, right? So they bump us up to 2A. So they're going to put Bartram Trail against Niceville in 2A state championships. And Bartram Trail is no longer a defending state champion because our girls took them down as a 2A. So I'm sure next year they're going to make a new division and put some college teams in there. And I got a feeling, sir, we'll be back here next year having defeated several of those clubs.
That's right. That's right.
Most of it, but this is just a really, really hard grouping work of girls. A hard working group of girls. I felt like this I don't really know where to look. This was probably our hardest fought win out of all of the 6. I think the first one was something that we were like really, really fighting for, but I feel like almost every year we get done and I see everyone else's routine and I feel pretty confident. I don't ever say it because I'm like, well, you never know. They could have seen something I didn't see. But this year it was like, we are the 2 best teams in the state. Out of every division, 1A, 2A, large, co-ed, like it was the 2 best teams in the state going head to head. And so we knew we had a job to do and we had to do it right. And we had one chance to do it right. They had beat us at a competition in December. We beat them at the Florida High School Regionals in January. And so it was kind of this like, who's gonna show up at state? And quite honestly, both teams showed up at state. Like both of us did really good routines. It was by far the best performance Niceville has ever put on the mat at state in 6 years. It was the best routine we could have done. And I remember just going, if that doesn't do it, they were just better than us. Like we could not have done, it was the hardest, best routine we've ever done. And so I think mentally for them to show up under that kind of pressure, you know, I really tried to be like, they focus on us, focus on Niceville, like no stress, keep them calm. But we all know that inside they're all like, there's a lot riding on this, we have to get this right. And so mentally for them to perform physically under that kind of like mental pressure was really, really awesome to watch. But I think just for us to walk off the floor being proud of the hours that we've put into it and just the relationships that they built. I will also add, yes, the multi-purpose building was very beneficial to us. But yeah, it was a great group and we're thankful for the opportunity to get to do all the things that we do, so. Eva, do you have any words?
I just wanted to say thank you for everyone being here, supporting us, and recognizing all of my teammates and their hard work. And I just wanted to say being on this program for the past 4 years have changed my life completely, and it's really shown me how to be a good friend, a good leader, and how to serve, and how important it is to be part of my community. And I just wanted to say thank you for being the best teammates and the best of my friends, and thank you, Ms. Morella, and thank you, Coach Tanya. And I couldn't have been more proud to be an Eagle and wear this gold.
Thank you, Dad.
Thank you, Dad.
Go on down, Dad.
Girls? Oh, okay.
I know the order. I even know when the picture is, but they have to line up. All right, Brooke, all flavor. Oh yeah. It's alphabetical by last name. That's pretty awesome. Yeah. Autumn Black. I'm gonna go this way. Okay, perfect. Kate Black. Ruby's not here. Jersey Brooks. Thank you. Stacey Constant, follow her up here. Allie Culbertson. Ashley Culbertson. Kayla Hales. Ava Heinley, you come back. Hope Knight. Ansley Mitchell. Taylor Rochelle. Aaron Stillings. Savannah Sundin. Leah Tate. Ansley Thrasher. Grace Walpole. Lolo. Williams. Gracie Wilson. Come on down. Okay, are you ready to jump into the show?
We are.
to Principal Murillo and Coach Tanya, both together, Knights High School cheer team, to a large all-girl division, not all large girls, just high school.
There we go. Yeah.
The same pose you've done for 4 months. Back up, though. Back up.
Yeah, you guys back
All right.
I don't think anybody can control the rest.
Oh, sure, that's fine. Go right
I won't give it.
All right, this is the camera you want to be able to see.
And if you're on the very end, don't squish it. Yeah, there we go. And I'm going to take a bunch because invariably somebody will blink. So we're just going to take a bunch. So keep smiling. And then I'll get out of the way and let your parents get some pictures. One more. Got it. Okay, let me get out of the way.
Got some more.
Thank you.
Yep. All right, we're going to recess for a couple of minutes while those of you who are guests can exit if you want to. All right, we're back in session. That was great. All right, we're moving on to section 4. We have no administrative personnel appointments this evening. All right, section 5, public comment, and this is the blue card agenda items. Do we have any cards? Okay, none. Moving forward. 6 is committee and staff reports. We handled that at the workshop today. All right, moving to 7, the consent agenda.
Madam Chair, I'd move that we adopt the consent agenda.
Okay.
And I'll second it.
All right, so we have a motion by Mr. Destin and a second by Mr. Bryant. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, and it's approved. All right, we move on down to section 8, superintendent's human resources recommendations. All right, 8.1 and 8.2 are for information only. 8.1 is employees on administrative leave. 8.2, deferred retirement option program. Moving on to 8.3, waiver of the OCEA master contract requested by the Okaloosa STEM Academy to waive the daily planning period requirement for the 25-26 school year, presented by Kimberly Nihill Taylor, principal at Okaloosa STEM Academy, and recommended by the superintendent. I need a motion.
So moved.
Okay, motion by Mr. Heinley, a second.
Second.
Second by Mr. Bryant. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so that goes through. All right. 8.4, employment separations presented by Dr. Hale. I need a motion.
So moved.
Okay, moved by Mr. Bryant. A second. Okay, Mr. Parker. Excuse me, Mr. Destin. I'm sorry. Mr. Destin. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you, that's approved, 4-0. Moving on to 8.5, personnel recommendations presented by Dr. Hale. Need a motion?
So moved.
Okay, motion by Mr. Destin. Second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Heinley. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, that's approved. 8.6, employee transfers presented by Dr. Hale. Need a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, so we're going to have the motion by Mr. Heinley, the second by Mr. Bryant. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that's approved. 8.7, reinstatement reimbursement of sick leave due to line of duty illness, injury, medical examination presented by Dr. Hale. Need a motion?
So moved.
Okay,
Second.
moved by Mr. Destin, second by Mr. Heinley. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that's passed. All right, and 8.8, leave without pay presented by Dr. Hale. Need a motion?
So moved.
Okay, motion by Mr. Heinley,
Second.
second by Mr. Destin. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you, that's approved. Okay, there's nothing on our discussion agenda this evening, so we're going to move to 10, construction program owners representatives business. And I know that you gave that earlier in the month.
Correct.
Okay, so 10.1, we had the program status report. So we don't need to move on that because we've covered it, right?
Correct.
Okay, all right, so we move to 10.2. All right, TPM program number 6, task order number 12, scope modification number 4, prior middle school cafeteria renovation, presented by Dr. Smith. Okay, all right, I need a motion to approve
Motion to approve.
by Mr. Destin, and I need a second.
Second.
Second by Mr. Heinley. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, okay, approved. Moving to 10.3. All right, TPM program number 6, task order number 34, scope modification number 1, district-wide sales tax construction projects, Meg's Middle School, new gym floor, presented by Dr. Smith. I need a motion.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Bryant. Need a second.
Second.
Second by Mr. Destin. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, that's approved. 10.4, TPM program number 6, task order number 39, GMP for district-wide paving projects, Crestview High School parking reconfiguration phase 1, presented by Dr. Smith. I need a motion, please.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Bryant. Need a second.
Second.
Okay, second by Mr. Heinley. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, that's approved. 10.5, TPM program number 6, task order number 43, revised GMP, Okaloosa Technical College, OTC North, interior renovations, presented by Dr. Smith. Need a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, moved by Mr. Heinley and a second by Mr. Bryant. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, that's approved. All right, 10.6, TPM program number 6, task order number 44, GMP 2024-25 priority roofing projects, Edwards Elementary School roof replacement project, presented by Dr. Smith. I need a motion, please.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Bryan, second by Mr. Destin. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, that's approved. Okay, we're going down to 11.1. Mr. McGinnis, any business tonight?
No report tonight.
Thank you, sir. Okay, moving along to 12, the superintendent's business. Mr. Chambers?
Thank you. As you know, gave several updates this morning, and I also appreciate the update from Mr. Spolsky, Mr. Meyer. So nothing further tonight.
Yep. The drone footage was the best. Okay, all right.
Did you hear that, Mr. Spolsky?
Oh, I heard that, sir.
Yeah. It's hard to compete with a drone, though, Mr. Spolsky.
I'll get a drone at MIS, man.
Okay, yeah, can you do that? Yeah, okay. All right. All right, so moving down to board members' announcements and information. All right, 13.1. So, Mr. Heinley, it's great to have your daughter here. What else?
It was great, and no further announcements for me.
All right, thank you, sir. Okay, and Mr. Destin?
I covered everything this morning. Nothing for me tonight.
Great, thank you. And Mr. Bryant?
I do have one update from this morning regarding some of the legislation that's moving through Tallahassee right now. Board members, I know you all get the same email that I do, but I figure since we get this email, let's share it with the public when we have a time. And so right now, the three big bills that we're watching is House Bill 261, the middle school, high school start times. I will just go down that the Senate companion bill 296 was heard in the last committee and was amended to match the House version. So both bills have passed unanimously. So that means it's pretty much on its way to becoming law. House Bill 1403, school safety. Some additional information from this morning. The bill was amended to provide some of the additional flexibilities of the Senate bill, and its second committee stop and has passed unanimously. So typically when a bill makes it through two, it's pretty much, it has to go through three. So this one is well on its way to getting through the House. And then Senate Bill 802, term limits for members of the boards of county commissions and district school boards. This bill was heard in its first committee. While there was much discussion regarding whether 8 years is long enough, the bill passed its first committee stop, and House Bill 679, its House companion, also passed its first committee this year after discussion on whether a statewide ballot was unfair to small districts. So obviously there's still some discussion, but both of them have passed their first Senate and House hearings. And that is it for tonight on those.
Okay, so to clarify for the public, the first one you're talking about, which has to do with start times, currently there is a mandate that we will change, all districts must change starting times for schools, nothing earlier than 8:30, right? As of
8:30 for high schools, 8 o'clock for middle.
Okay, and that's supposed to be the fall of 26. However, if what you're talking about goes through, that will repeal that, right?
Yes,
Or bring it back, and then that allows the districts to do what we're doing now,
Correct.
which is to choose their own times.
Correct. Now, they did add some language on there that would require the district to, show that why it would be, why we would need to stay at the times that we are now, the impacts that it would have on us if we went, compared to going to a later school start.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, okay, gotcha. Okay, well, we're still watching that, but it sounds like it's moving forward.
Yeah, like I said this morning, it's been really interesting to watch how Tallahassee's working, but the House is trying to catch up. They are, like I said, they're probably about 4 weeks behind, and there's only like 6 weeks left to go in the session, so.
Yep.
Madam Chair, I had a question, if I could have a moment of Mr. Bryant. Do you have any knowledge of anything that has moved or evolved in the last 2 weeks? I know we touched on it at the last meeting. I think Representative Andrade had sponsored a bill that had something to do with municipalities and land. So do you know where that stands?
Right now, that one is kind of, there's some back and forth going between the House and the Senate. For those that might be aware, this is a bill that's out there where it would allow municipalities to take school board property and, use that to start to give to a charter school. It's a very complicated bill. But right now, it's just still kind of going back and forth. I will get you an update because that wasn't on this, but I will give you an update, and I'll make sure it gets sent to y'all.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay,
Madam Chair, I have a question for Mr. Bryant.
Yeah, sure.
I saw something today on the Pineapple Report about cursive, a bill about cursive writing.
Yeah.
Is that what's going on with that?
So that one is to require cursive be taught back in schools. It's a dying thing, because when we were in school, third grade is usually when we started to learn to write in cursive.
Do you think that will pass?
I haven't heard much on that one. Again, with his concern or his question, I will follow up on that one because that one was fairly new to.
Yeah, the first time I saw it.
Yeah.
So.
But I will follow up and make sure that Ms. McGowan or Ms. Floyd will get that out to y'all. So
thank you.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Mr. Bryan. Again, we appreciate you keeping up with that and representing us in Tallahassee. And I have nothing new except that tomorrow starts the last 9 weeks of the school year. So wish everybody well coming back. That first day after break is challenging, but get it going again and heading towards graduation and all those things. So, okay. All right, moving on to 14, public comment. This is the yellow card version. Any cards tonight? Okay, so we'll move forward. All right, anything from the staff or anybody in the audience tonight? Anybody got anything else? Anything else? All right, then it is my duty to adjourn this meeting. We are adjourned.